like through OBS?
I mean, I do all my recording through OBS. I just record it and then clip the video off and use the audio.
Gotcha.
I'm sure there's better or easier ways to do it. I'm just not old enough in the content creation sphere to know what it is. Alright, I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording. If you're gonna do something, do it now.
What are we on?
3, 2, 1, go.
Screenplay!
Alright. We've got 5 seconds for the intro and then we're live. Alright, that's my pretty face. Where's Jordan's pretty face? There's Jordan's pretty face. Welcome back, Screenplay. This is episode 13, I think. God, I need to start like writing this down. I forget every week. Episode 13, Vidya Games. Covered some movies last week, and then next week we're going to be finishing up the Vision. So this week we're talking video games. Jordan's excited to go run down Diablo. I'm going to talk about some handheld stuff and some Star Wars stuff, and then we'll probably wrap up on the FTC blocking Microsoft. Welcome back. We're happy to have you.
Hey guys. Very excited. I am going to start off by saying, as much as I am excited to do this podcast, I'll tell you what, that doesn't compare to my level of excitement for the most recent season of Diablo. Season Malignant Dumpster Fire.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. Someone who can, I feel like, advocate for Diablo. I have not played the previous Diablo games, but that's almost come as a secret weapon, if I may, because I have nothing to compare it to. So it's like, this is the pinnacle of Diablo.
He is exceedingly tolerant of all of the missteps that Blizzard is taking.
Yeah, some may say even apologetic missteps. But what we will break down, some big changes. Obviously, they nerfed XP.
Can we? Yeah, let's not go. Let's dissect just that, just a little bit. A video game nerfed experience. Why do we continue to give them our fucking money?
Yeah.
I gotta be honest though, I only spent like 3 or 4 hours playing the new season. I thought it was okay, but I'm more of a story guy, so I didn't get into like the whole grinding part of it. Jordan's put in like 60 hours or something in the past 3 days, so he's gonna have the majority of this. But I was like, I don't know if I want to play this if they made it harder to level up.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you an exact amount of hours I put in. I will say this. I am level 74, and last night I fully completed my battle pass without using the accelerated one that I got from the legendary edition, whatever it was called. So like just naturally playing, I completed the battle pass. I can guarantee you, I know what that means for season 2. They will nerf battle pass XP. That will happen.
That's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah. How long has this season been out? Since
a week? A week? No, not even a week. It'll be a week on what, Thursday? I think.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
Yeah,
Thursday,
yeah.
I think is when it came out.
Yeah, we're used
So
to the
less than a
Bungie
week.
reset, but
Yeah, less than a week, 4 days approximately, we could say. I have completed that entire 90 tier battle pass without even using like the accelerated version.
oh
So
jeez, man,
guaranteed that will change.
how do you keep all the women off of you? Like
Honestly,
he's dripping with charisma right now.
yeah, it's hard. I've actually applied to concealed carry class to try and make that a little bit more efficient
Makes
as well.
sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Now I will say this: even though all of the nerfs have hit Diablo 4,
We're just gonna skate over the fact he just spent like a good 2 minutes bragging about how he completed his battle pass, and Blizzard's gonna nerf him.
yeah, everyone will solely blame me. They will post me all over Twitter.
Yeah, let's hope so. We'll get some followers from that, even if they are turds.
Yeah, they will. I will say this: it's not like it's taking the fun out of the game for me. However, I've said this even before season 1. Level 70 is where the true test of endgame is, because that's whenever like the XP jumps from like 5 million to like 12 million to level up to 71, which is crazy.
See, this is a problem to me. Fundamentally, in this game, if you think the end game is 60 hours in, nobody has fucking time for that. No real person who actually plays games is going to sit down and be like, play through a 60 hours of not even like there's a ton of shit to do. It's just like grinding out dungeon and dungeon and dungeon. And you're doing XP farms that are like efficient. So it's not just playing the game, it's like doing this one thing for 60 hours to get to the part where now shit matters.
Yeah, I agree. I do think they need to rework XP. I think another thing, if they're not going to rework XP, at least put more content.
And then they nerfed it, and then they were like, "Hey, this is going too quick.
Yeah,
Gotta rein these guys in."
I will say, like, it's definitely been a little too fast, or like not fast enough. I mean, in the early game, and it's even harder whenever it's just the same stuff you did for season 0. Like, there's just not enough engaging content. Like, if the seasonal stuff had more of a linear story that you could follow, that was not just the campaign over again, and not just running around doing dungeons, I think that would be better. However, if I know anything about game developers in today's age, adding more content is beyond question. So just unnerf XP. Guys.
Yeah.
Just go ahead, take it back, and it would make the grind a little bit more tolerable until level 70, and then everyone's just fucked anyways.
See, like, I've not been on the Diablo train, which, almost everybody is. It is an excellent game. I'm not dogging it by any means, but the gameplay loop's not my thing. And I have so many people who are like, "Oh, you just don't like the grind. You just don't know what it's like." I'm like, motherfuckers, I play Destiny.
Yeah.
Like, I know what grind is, but Destiny has, like, other shit I can go fuck off and do when I get bored of the one thing. But regardless, I'm really excited for this new update, though. Aren't they rolling back some stuff? Didn't they say they were like, yeah, we fucked up, we get it. We're gonna make some changes to make sure people are happy.
Yeah. Well, so they just released a hot fix, I think 2 days ago, that was actually kind of substantial. They recognize Nightmare Dungeons is their end game. They tried to buff Trio Whispers to make that end game as well, and they also like buff / nerfed Helltides. Weird process. I don't understand what that was about.
I didn't like Helltides that much. I mean, they were okay. It's just like, it sucks. The risk for reward I didn't feel like was there. Like,
yeah.
You lose your shit too easily in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agreed. They made it to where Nightmare Dungeons, so the tiers, like, this is kind of vague because I can't remember the numbers completely off my head, but it was like the higher Nightmare Dungeon tiers they took down a substantial percentage of like health and damage that they did. So it got to the point to where like Nightmare Dungeon 70 through 100 had like minus 68% health and minus 72% damage dealt. So they basically nerf the enemies as well.
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. So they made it so you can kill more ads, but they give you way less experience.
Yeah.
So they did nothing.
Well, that was just a hot fix. That was just a hot fix.
Okay, all right.
They're sending out a campfire chat this Friday to address patch 1.1.1, which will then address the XP changes, hopefully stash changes, because apparently that's a coding issue that they need to like work on instead of just a hot fix issue, from what I was gathering.
Really?
On other videos and stuff.
Huh.
Yeah. I guess the way they made the stash, like they need to like completely rework it. I don't know.
All right. As long as they make it
project, I'm sure it'll get done.
Yeah, as long as they make it fun again.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Dude, that's all that's ever been. How many posts have you seen in the past week of just people being like Diablo patch 1.1 whatever fixed issues where Diablo 4 players were actually having fun?
Lots. Yeah.
I love it.
They solved the developer dilemma of having shitty fans. They just made it so they didn't want to play their game anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, now the servers are running great because nobody's playing. I love it. It's been huge boost.
Dude, day one on the servers was like, it was hard to get in. Like, it took you a good 20, 30 minutes to fucking pop into one. Now it's just like, they're paying you $5 to enter the fucking queue line.
Yeah, well, it's funny, right? Because when everyone saw the patch notes, everyone immediately was like, "Oh, this game's gonna be shit."
Yeah.
Like, but as we know, theory can only take you so far.
Yeah,
so everyone had to come experience it, right?
Yeah, and then even though nobody's playing Diablo 4, it's still triple the amount of people playing Destiny 2 right now. Fuck.
Amen. I will say this: even though this is the worst patch I think I've ever seen come into video game history. I have not seen a Bungie developer commenting on this one yet.
Yeah, not yet. That's because, dude, you may not know this because you've been out of the loop for a little bit, but Bungie actually came out and was like, "Guys, we're not gonna be responding to social media stuff as much anymore," because like there was this big lawsuit where Bungie sued like somebody on Twitter for harassing one of their devs. So like, they're not going to be as vocal as, and like, for anybody who doesn't know, they have weekly, bi-weekly, or I'm sorry, they have twice weekly updates for the games, and they are really active on Twitter and Reddit. Bungie is when they're talking to the Destiny community, and they're really setting the standard for like how developers talk to, their fans and player base. And Bungie came out and was like, "We're not doing it anymore. Like, you guys are too fucking mean." Like, there was this guy that they sued, I guess, was like, he kept ordering them pizza, like sending them death threats. They found out his address and shit, like taking shit too far. It won like $500,000 or something. So anyways, yeah, they're not talking to anybody either.
Oh my god, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But fuck, I mean, they shouldn't have fucking nerfed Darcy.
Yeah, so I don't think Bungie's gonna say shit to Diablo anymore. They don't want that. They don't want that shade thrown their way.
Exactly. Yeah. I will say, as much as there are problems in the game, I, as somebody who has nothing to compare this to, again, take this with a grain of salt, have still found a way to enjoy playing a new class and a new skill set experience, even though one of my skills in my skill tree is supposed to have 3 points I can put into it, and it only has 1. And they've addressed this on Twitter by saying, "Sorry, this is something we can't hotfix. We must patch it." So who knows when I'll get my true build back. But, oh well. Diablo, keep doing your thing. Hell, you've already gotten $100+ from me, so...
I'm excited to play it again. I needed to spend some time there. I didn't realize the patch was going live this week. I thought it was, or last week. I thought it was going to be this Friday. So I do need to jump in there, play it some more.
Yeah. Well, it's only the hotfix right now. I think the patch is supposed to come out next week, and they're doing the campfire chat Friday to talk about that patch.
What a cool name, by the way, Campfire Chat. It's such a cool name.
Yeah, it is cool. If that is the case, where Bungie has set the precedence for developers communicating with the community, then I will be honest. There was this one tweet I saw, and I should know better. I should only ever go to Twitter to look at Transformers Reactivate information.
Yeah, right.
But there was this one person who like screenshotted all the people shitting all over Diablo, and she was like, I just can't believe this. Like, we have so many gamers who are just crybabies. I hope they don't get what they want. And I was just like, oh my god, dude. I was like, at least I'm not that bad. You know, I might have enjoyed Eternals when it came out, but like, I'll never be that.
I think it's okay, and some developers, including Bungie and Blizzard, they take their lumps. They're like, yeah, we need the feedback. We've asked for it. Like, we should respectively give it to them. When they want feedback. If it's not great, like, they want to make a good game that we're gonna play. Well, they should. I know Bungie does. I know Blizzard's had some history of not doing that, but yeah. When it's not okay is when we decide that we need to like give them death threats and be toxic. Twitter is known as this cesspool of nonsense. I just don't get it, man.
Yeah,
why do you shit on something you love?
Yeah, and I feel like that should come hand in hand with a live service game, right? Like if you're making a live service game, immediately your first order of business should be to brief your team that, like, hey, that means we have to deal with live service people.
Live service problems.
Yeah, so get ready,
Yeah.
There should be a Twitter brief.
Lock down your socials.
Yeah. And it's true, because at the end of the day, when people are passionate about something and you just take it and you shit all over it, what are they going to do? They're not going to play Diablo. So now where's that 6 hours of time that they had going to go into? Yeah, guess what? They're ordering you pizzas with death threats, right?
Yeah. Well, they could go play Diablo, but 6 hours isn't enough time to gain 3 levels. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then they have the 3-hour queue also. So a lot of free time there.
Anything else you want to bring up about the Diablo update?
Oh, one last thing. The biggest W to come from Diablo Season 1. Ladies and gentlemen, as you have seen, the most active out of me on Twitter for this righteous cause, Rogues finally got a cool transmog in the shop that you can spend real money on to make up for the fact that Diablo 4 is now shitty.
Okay.
That's a win. That's a win, guys. We did it.
Are you talking about your 2 tweets?
3. I made 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But hey, to be fair, I'd only made probably 2 tweets in total before that. So we have seen 100, I don't know, maybe like 133%. Is that how math works?
Well, not really. But yeah, we can move on. Okay. I don't know how to tell how long we've been streaming, so that's a problem.
Oh well. They'll turn it off when they're done listening.
Yeah. Next up, Game Pass Core. They're changing how Game Pass works, how Xbox Live subscription works. Now you're gonna have Game Pass no matter what, and it's gonna be called Core on the console. I don't see this as a bad thing, really. I mean, you're getting way more value for your subscription. Because I don't pay for Xbox Gold. I just have the Game Pass Unlimited. We're both PC gamers mainly. So I do the Unlimited because then I get Game Pass on PC, which is a fantastic value. I don't know if you have it, Jordan, but great value. I should show you the library. Like, it's there's hundreds of games, AAA titles that come out same week, and you have them. You get them all.
Are you able to search something on there as we're talking?
Yeah.
This will be the determining factor of whether I get it. Do they have Viva Pinata?
Viva Pinata?
Yeah.
I doubt it. I've never heard of that.
Greatest game of my childhood.
Well, it's not like that. It's like AAA titles that are new. Like, what do
FIFA
you?
was a triple A in my heart.
Okay, all right. Viva, Viva Pinata.
It was this game about, I guess, like you like live in this magical world, and your goal, I think, is to like collect and raise all of these pinatas. But you like try to. It was like Pokemon, but for fucking pinatas. It was great.
There's a fucking tilde in that, Jordan. It's Poke. A. Pokemon.
Pokey.
Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Not Pokemon. Anyways, no results for Viva anything, so.
Well, that sucks.
Get League of Legends, though.
You've sold me. I'm definitely not getting it.
Valorant, Jedi, Fallen Order, Wolong. Exoprimal's on here. Actually, I'm going to set that to download.
There it is. Bingo.
Hey, you know what Exoprimal is, dude? This is the most dumb batshit. It's Anthem meets dinosaurs.
That's awesome. That's actually what I wanted.
You pilot mechs to kill dinosaurs.
You're killing them? Oh,
yeah, man.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want that game, actually.
It's just so fucking dumb.
That is kind of dumb. Oh, well, you know what? It's probably doesn't have any XP nerfs, so.
All right. Exoprimal installing. You never know, man. Maybe I'll become an Exoprimal main.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, Game Pass is going to have Among Us, Descenders, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Forza Horizon, Gears 5, Grounded, Halo 5, Halo Wars, Hellblade, Human Fall, Inside, Ori, The Will of the Wisps, that sounds dumb, Psychonauts, State of Decay, and Elder Scrolls Online Unlimited Edition. All for the same price that they were already paying.
That's pretty cool.
I think it's neat, yeah. Good for you, Xbox players. You're getting something better.
Yeah. And how much is it?
I thought it was $60 a year. It's $10 a month or $60 a year. So that's the same price they were already paying.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going $10 a month.
Yeah, makes sense, right? You definitely should pay double. Definitely. Yeah. There's a new handheld coming out very soon, very soon, and it's a chonky boy. For those of you who don't know, I have an ROG Ally and I love it. I don't think Jordan does any handhelds, but I thought about getting a Steam Deck. What the hell does that look for? The judgment rolling off of your face.
I can't do handhelds.
He's only used to holding really small things.
It has if my hands aren't on top of each other, it doesn't work. I'm not as dexterous.
Dexterous. So yeah, this new guy has the touchpads that the Steam Deck has that no devs use. So get excited about that. It does have a way bigger screen than the Steam Deck. It's called the Aya Neo Kun. The ROG Ally and the Steam Deck both have 7-inch screens. This one's going to have an 8.4-inch screen, which makes it a dumb fucking aspect ratio, which means nobody's going to support it. And it's going to draw more power, which is probably why it has a bigger battery than the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. I'm going to be honest, the Ally, if you're running a AAA title, like with graphics at minimum, the battery's going to last like an hour and a half, if you're lucky. Anything lower than that, I put it in performance mode, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm playing Final Fantasy, 13? No, 15. I'm playing Final Fantasy 15 on it, and it'll last for a good while. But Tiny Tina's, it lasts maybe an hour on Ultra, maybe an hour.
Yeah.
So older games, it'll run them pretty good. Newer games, it'll run them pretty good, but it's gonna suck up that battery, and that fucker gets hot, dude. It gets real hot.
I bet you might have to wear oven mitts while playing. You know?
No, like the back is really good. Like most of the vents and stuff are on the back, and there's some in the front. But like the screen itself is like lava. If you touch it, it's like damn. that burned my damn fingers. What's happening?
Yeah, I think they should actually remove the control paddles and make it touchscreen, where it's like unbearable to play.
The worst part is the reason I went with the Ally over the Steam Deck is because the Steam Deck runs like a proprietary software, and it only runs Steam games, and it's not all Steam games. Like Destiny won't run on it. The Ally though is a Windows 11 PC in the palm of your hand, so it runs everything you can run on PC. You just gotta dumb it down a lot.
Yeah, because you can connect a external graphics card with it, right?
Yeah, you can. There's a plug-in one, yeah.
There you go. Just buy a 4090 for it.
Dude, they have them. It's like $2,500.
Oh my god.
But like, why would I do that when I could just play like games on my computer?
It's ridiculous. 2,500.
It's a cool thing. I like tech, man, so I'm into these kind of things, and I really like my Ally. I thought about checking out a Steam Deck, but it's just not going to be worth it to me. Half the games I'm going to play on it aren't going to work. But this new one, I might check it out. The article I read about it doesn't say that it's running Windows. It might just be running that Steam OS, which I think is based off of Android. So if that's the case, not buying it.
Yeah. The Ally, from what you told me, sounds superior to anything on the market and anything coming out soon.
Yeah, the battery is trash, though. 100%. Well,
that's going to be the same, because I love the VR. Like, I have the Meta Quest. I think it's the Quest 2? Something like that. But the battery was horrible on it. Maybe an hour at best. And, VR is still kind of a newer thing. So, like, you can expect there's going to be some not as efficient things with it.
That's true.
But I will say this. I love that it creates a market for other people to come in and make things to remedy those problems. I will say I bought whenever I was playing VR a lot, and the battery would go low, the headset was uncomfortable, it would get hot, like I'd have to like peel it off my face and like wipe my face with a paper towel sometimes. It was bad, dude. But this company did like an all-in-one fix. Like they made a whole new head strap to where like it literally like you put it on your eyes and then you peel it down like Iron Man, and there's a twist knob that adjusts and tightens it, and the battery pack actually creates balance to where it doesn't feel like it's just all that tension hanging off the front of your face. Like it feels like you're just wearing that at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it self tightens. They changed the visor to where it has vents that allow no fogging, and I have never sweat with that thing on after that. And it has a fucking battery pack that charges it. I had played that thing for 5 hours at that point, and it was just lost a battery charge. I was thoroughly impressed with the like secondhand things you could buy to remedy the problem.
So there's a ton of, because this supports just USB charging. It just charges through a USB-C. So like you can buy any sort of battery pack you want and just run it off of that. I have one that just plugs into it, and it's got like a 70-hour charge on it. You just plug it in and it works fine. But like I don't want that, man. I want to be able to just lay in bed and not have to have a cord hanging out. Like I just want to play the thing.
It would suck to have a whole PC that you have to travel with. Like that's basically what you're traveling if you're just getting all this other. I get it.
Yeah,
it's still cool.
Yeah, so if I see this Neo Kun anywhere around, I'll probably check it out. But I don't know if I'm gonna be buying it if it's running Steam OS. Next up is Star Wars Outlaws. Now, Jordan is stupidly excited for the new Star Wars open world game, and more data is rolling in that Outlaws is going to be that.
I know.
Which means no Jedi. I just don't like. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. And anybody who's watched the podcast has heard me whine about it. But, like, who the fuck wants a game without Jedi in it? It doesn't make sense. Now, they're making this sound kind of cool because, like, the way this article lays it out is talking about how it's basically Star Wars and Assassin's Creed have a baby. So as long as it's not Assassin's Creed Valhalla that they had the baby with, we'll be okay.
Yeah, we need to find out who the father is first before we make any judgments.
They're saying the gameplay to get everything finished 100% is around 150 hours. That's insane.
Yeah, that is.
They're going to have over 30 worlds that are curated and built for players to explore. That's really cool, man. Like, that much detail that they're going to put into this game, it just for like 30% of the players to never even experience. That's dedication. That's a world that's being built. I'm kind of excited for that.
Here is my thing about it. I think that all sounds great, but it's missing the one thing I was very excited for when I heard open world
Jedi.
Star Wars. Yeah, basically. But just give me a character I can create and make, not just like, don't just give me a bounty hunter. Give me a Jedi. Give me a clone.
Right.
You know, like a person who defects from the clone. Whatever. Just give me something I create instead of giving me your story you want to tell. Let me tell my story in the world you create. Like, that's what I want.
He doesn't want to hear somebody else's story. He wants his story.
Exactly, right? That's what I want. And it's a I'm sure it'll be great, right? But it's very much catered towards that audience. There's a very big audience for single player games. I am sadly not one of them. I wish I was. I just can't do it.
I am enormously into good narrative experiences. So, like, if they pull it off, fantastic. I really like the Fallen Order and, you know, the Jedi Survivor. Like, those games were great to me. I enjoyed them a lot. And I don't even like Star Wars, so that's saying something. Yeah. This one has potential to be cool.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sure it'll be cool. It's hard because, you know, a good narrative or not, I believe I'm the best storyteller there is. So therefore, I need to be able to make my own story.
Let me tell you, I've never experienced a Jordan story, Chief Big Dog story. So I can't say whether it's
true.
good or not.
He recently heard one and immediately had to tell his wife.
Oh, that's very true. That's very true. I can't describe how passionately I disagreed with the point, but it was funny.
Yes, it's a very common thing between us. There is always a passionate disagreement.
Anything else you want to talk about with Star Wars?
No, I'm still holding out hope that maybe they are listening to Screenplay episode 13 and possibly, what was the other one? 9 that we talked about it, and 6. And they're just listening. They're like, hey, maybe we should make a customizable experience, but they're probably not.
You think out of like the 100 people who are actually paying attention to us that
100? That's impressive. Do we really?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's
but
impressive.
Do you think out of the 100 people that are paying attention to us, that one of them works for, like, what was it, Lucas Games?
Yeah, something like that. Well,
no.
Here's what I do know. Dude, look, I started sending pizzas and death threats to the creators 2 weeks ago.
Makes sense. Right?
I feel like we should be catching some ground here soon.
Yeah, here we are. Xbox is getting sued by the FTC. That's the Federal Trade Commission.
I do want to say one thing before we start this topic.
Okay, go. Shoot.
Transformers Reactivate. We haven't talked a whole lot about it.
I'm excited about it. I got
Oh God,
I got an Autobot
I am
on my
too.
arm.
The more I am reading about this from their Twitter, there's also a fan page that does a lot of the leaks and stuff from other.
I follow
But just-
him. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it's cool. Like before we got the idea, or they told us it was like a baby between what was it, Destiny and something else, right?
I thought it was like Forza.
Yeah, there was some good range of games, so I'm like, oh, okay, this could be cool. And then as more information came out, definitely going to be like a shooter looter 4-player co-op, story driven stuff like that. Like there's the way you unlock characters is like there's like corrupted transformers that you end up having to defeat to unlock them and stuff like that. Like that just all sounds cool as long as they do it right. And
So like
if
the
game ever
narrative,
comes out,
the narrative is that it's like you're reactivating. I think Bumblebee, like initially, is your everybody's like the ride along character, and like all the Transformers were shut down, and we don't really know why yet because the game is nowhere near finished yet. But they keep acting like it is. It's pissing me off.
yeah.
But everything they keep releasing about it is like, yes, sign me up. Yes, that looks fantastic. But I'm starting to get worried because if anybody has ever played Cyberpunk 2077, that had a similar experience with it where it was like, yes, that sounds awesome. And then it dropped and you were like, fuck, I can barely play this.
Yeah. The good news is if it does do that, then all we have to do is pay for it a year in advance and then it will become playable 1 year later.
Good point.
That is basically how they make games.
I'm going to be honest with you, Jordan. If this game is 50% of what I hope it is, I may change my entire stream around and form my online persona around it. I'm dead serious. It sounds amazing.
I'm hoping.
It's like it has a battle pass. It's a looter shooter. It goes from third person action to car driving. Like, it just sounds perfect. And you know what happens when something sounds perfect?
It never is.
It doesn't live up to it.
Yeah.
Like, there was supposed to be a developer summit on the 22nd of this month where they were going to release a ton of news about it. Turns out they were just going to hang out at fucking San Diego Comic-Con and they had a panel talking about the toys that Hasbro's making around this fucking game. I felt a bit like this was an ass pull.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Agreed.
a little dejected about it, but
yeah. So one thing I will say, this from some sources I've read, apparently, and this is kind of leaked, so take it with a grain of salt. Apparently, they had a quote unquote finished product, the original developers, but then I think they kind of like merged or they started co-working with another development company, and now that company is like adding and changing stuff. Like it was on Unreal Engine 3, I believe, to start. And now it's on Unreal Engine 4.
It was 4 and they're moving to 5.
That's what it is. Okay. So, I'm all for improving the game. Like, you know, make it as close to a finished product as possible, if that's even possible anymore. It's a live service, so obviously it's gonna go to shit at some point. We can count on that. But
they'll crawl their way.
Everything I'm reading about it, yeah, they will. Everything I'm reading about it, I'm excited. And the one thing I haven't seen a lot of news on that is missing that last 20% of commitment. Actually, take that back. But missing the last 40% of commitment for me is microtransactions. You know,
oh my god!
Tell me I can fucking buy the Bayverse skins.
I hope
while everyone
not,
else is rolling around in G1. Like I think that
Fuck
would be sick.
Bayverse. You know, it does sound cool, and like everything I keep seeing about it sounds cool. There was even a guy I watched a YouTube video of it. He like claimed to be at a developer conference, and like he had to sign a bunch of NDAs and shit. He got to play, a developer version of a couple of levels, and said that you're basically just running around specific areas doing like public event style missions and like killing ads and stuff, and like you get loot from them. That just sounds really cool, man. If we can just like cruise around and customize our fucking Transformer,
Yeah.
like I'll die happy.
Yeah.
Like, take my money.
Yeah. And obviously every Transformer give me a set of skills that is only specific to that one, right?
Yeah.
If I'm rolling around as Ironhide, make me an assault class, right? And I don't know, like, make Bumblebee different from Ironhide, stuff like that.
Yeah, make him like a scout. Like low health pool, but like high accuracy stuff. I don't know, it's there's possibilities there.
Yeah. I'm very excited about that. But that's sadly all the news that we could probably.
If it ever comes out, it's gonna. There's no way it's gonna live up to the hype. I just, maybe I'm just jaded, but it looks really good.
Bias
it looks really good.
Into it. Apparently, there is supposed to be a beta that comes out in 2023, and the game is set to release in 2024. So, could be, before December. Hopefully, we'll be playing a little bit of a product of it.
I hope so, man. I really hope so. I don't know how to get access to the beta. I keep looking.
Yeah, me too.
Nothing's there.
But oh well. Anyways, on to the beef that we were talking about with Microsoft.
Okay, so the Federal Trade Commission is trying to block Microsoft's Activision deal. So it's already went through, but it's not officially closed yet because apparently these things take time. But they're saying they can't do it, man. They're saying that then they would own too much of the space in North America in the gaming distribution arena.
I don't know. What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think it's true. I don't think we should have a monopoly. Monopoly. We should not have a monopoly. When you have one person holding all the cards, you lose innovation. So, like, we as gamers suffer.
Yeah.
They don't make new games anymore. They just make Call of Duty 48, and it's exactly the same as Call of Duty 5 was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's capitalism at its worst.
I also see the bright side to it. The positives. These games, from what I've been seeing, people like the MW2 servers are active and they actually have like anti-cheat. So like there's part of that community that's actually going back to MW2 to play it because like that was, to a lot of us, a really good Call of Duty title. I loved Ghost. I would be excited to go play Ghost again. I know a lot of people
never get it, dude. You never get it. That game was garbage.
Yeah. But it's nice to bring life back to a nostalgia product that was actually good instead of just paying $60, $70. I mean, hell, like no game costs $60 anymore. It's like paying $70 just to be disappointed with 50% of the product, but deal with it because that's where all your friends are, right?
You'll only see more of that, though. This is what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I mean, and that's the route it could go. Hopefully, it doesn't. But
what's the alternate route?
Well, I mean, it's no different right now. I mean, hell, every game developer has the same product. They live service a game, and they sell it for fucking not just $59.99. Now it's $69.99. But if you want to play the season pass and be competitive or even relevant in the game, you got to purchase the Legendary Edition to give you a fucking skin and an emote for $99.99.
Yeah, but like
that,
how many games
2 comes out?
How many games are even in the live service realm? Like there's only a handful that stuck around and managed to scrape out a spot.
Well, shit, anything that's relevant right now is almost in the live service. I mean, you got to think.
No, dude. There's tons of games. Most games that are relevant are not live service games. Most games that are.
Like, I don't know. Maybe okay. God of War,
Spider-Man, Resident Evil, all these franchises that are.
Those are also. That's also a newer thing.
Call of Duty, the Call of Duty release every year is not a live service game. Warzone is, but
that is what Call of Duty's built around now.
No, the titular franchise is not. That the one you buy every year is not a live service game.
If I now here's my thing. A lot of people play Warzone, right? Just like a lot of people play Fortnite. They
A
love the
lot of
battle
people
royale.
do. Yep.
Now, whenever you have only one Warzone server, because that was the problem with MW3. Maybe it was the remake of MW2. They combined with Cold War, and then the Cold War guns were available on the Warzone that shared MW2. But if you didn't have Cold War and you only had the MW2 guns, you could still go up against people with the Cold War gun. At that point, whether it's a separate game or not, it's still a live service. And especially like even if you're only playing multiplayer, there's still a battle pass.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, dude. The live service is a very specific model that a game is created from. Fortnite is a live service game. Call of Duty Warzone is a live service game. Division 2 is a live service game. Call of Duty came out this year just because it has a multiplayer and fucking loot boxes does not mean that it's a live service.
Well, what separates live service?
It's the it's not necessarily just the drip feed, but it's like how the content is created for it. You're enticing purchases through monetization. So like you have a battle pass, you have things that come out that you have to buy. Well, you don't have to buy that. You buy that make the experience better or worse for other players.
That is basically Call of Duty though. Like
no, it's not, man. It's Warzone. It's only Warzone that is a live service.
Man. I'm telling you, okay. The game's also when the battle pass comes out. How much MW2 have you played?
I haven't played I played the original Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, but the new one, have you played it?
No, I refuse to.
I recommend that. That's a good decision. I sadly got on the train as soon as it came out. And that's the problem with Call of Duty that I didn't like is even in multiplayer, if you wanted to stay relevant, you had to buy the battle pass to get the guns that came with it. Because if not, then you couldn't unlock them until the battle pass was gone, and then you had to do an absurd challenge to get it. And then you had to level that gun up. By that point, you're behind the curve. Yeah. And it's like, and that goes for everything. DMZ, that goes for, multiplayer, Warzone, like it's all connected like that.
Yeah, I mean, Warzone, it kind of bled into a lot of. So the last Call of Duty I played was Cold War, and I honestly only bought it for the zombies, so I didn't play a lot of the multiplayer on it. But I mean, you can bleed in live service elements into the game, and I'd believe it. They want money, but like the bulk of titles that come out that people play. The point I'm trying to make is those are not live service games. Yeah, they want them to stick around for a while and they want to get people's money out of it, but like most of the games we talked about today are not live service games.
I feel like it's hard because Call of Duty has that stigma of always releasing a game almost like every year, every 2 years, right? So like if they don't do that, it's hard to compare that. I believe that MW2, the remake, is a live service when we compare it to GTA 5. Like, GTA 5 has been all around for how long? Like, that is... I feel like that's a good representation of a live service.
GTA 5 isn't a live service game, though.
How is it not?
It's not. They're not providing a live service. They have a server that's up, but you can... buy the game and just play through it. It's a single player experience. Yeah, there's a multiplayer attached to it, but that's not a live service.
Well, then what is the definition of a live service?
Let's look it up.
They have only ever released updates to continue adding content to GTA 5 without making a new game. Like, that sounds like a live service to me.
Well, let's look it up. I mean, it has to have a continuing revenue model. So, I mean, that's a pretty broad definition.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever had to pay for anything in GTA 5. I don't think so. So maybe that disqualifies it. Um,
Irregardless, I'm just saying that like the bias of it, you gear towards. Well, we gear towards live service games. I like them a lot too, um,
mhm,
but that doesn't mean the majority of gamers are that.
yeah. So maybe live service isn't what I'm trying to say. Maybe it's just the monetization. Like what I think we're worried about is monopolization. What I'm worried about is the biggest thing to me is only one person controls the price, right? Like there's no more market, so therefore the price of everything gets dictated by one company.
Yeah,
And
well,
so like
yeah. I
they could
mean,
sell a battle pass for $150 and that is just the norm now. Like no one's going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to sell mine for 50." And then people are going to be like, "Oh, let's go buy that one instead." Right? Like
what I'm more worried about is like I said, there's going to be zero innovation. They're not going to create games that are engaging or experiences that I want to have. They're just going to make the thing that makes money.
and
Without
on that
competition, there's no innovation. I mean, they
I
said
agree with that. But we're almost in that point right now too, even with not a monopoly, right? Like I feel like you see too many games that do the, you know, buy this for 9.99, unlock the first battle pass, and then they release another battle pass that costs an absurd amount of money compared to when we were younger. And it was just like DLC one, $20. And then you got to play that game for fucking 3 months
man,
and 3-4 months, and it was still really good. That I don't know.
God
It's
of
I feel
War,
like
God of War told the industry you can still do it and make
yeah,
millions. God of War 2, same thing. Spider-Man, same thing. Resident Evil 4 came out. Resident Evil
yeah.
8. I mean, the list can go on. Like, the industry can do it. But
Mhm.
what the problem is that Microsoft is buying up the Capcoms. They're buying up the Activisions. They're buying up the Bethesdas. So all these companies that are making these games that are good are now going to be under this one umbrella. So like they're not even going to be really competing with each other. Imagine now we're in a world where I want to play the new StarCraft coming out, right? I want to play that game, but now they're not going to release it until December, even though it's finished because this other game that Bethesda's or not Bethesda that Activision is rolling out is going to be out. So we're going to mothball that one so that this one will succeed. And then once it fails, then we'll pull out the game that Bethesda wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not good to have all your cards, all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, I agree. One thing that I think could help, like maybe a silver lining, is if a company is going to buy it, Microsoft is not a bad one to do. Like at that point, I'm thinking of like what could have changed if Fallout 76 had come out with the same. I don't know how budgets are going to be different, right? But I would assume there'd probably be a little bit more financial support on certain areas. And I remember when Fallout 76 came out, there was a point to where it was so long ago, so I can't verbatim say it, but they were kind of just like, "Hey, look, this isn't the best product. We're sorry. We're going to be trying to work on something else for a little bit." Almost like what Destiny 2 is kind of going through, I guess, right now.
Yeah, but guess what happened, Jordan? Who bought
But
Bungie?
I don't know. Who did?
Sony just bought Bungie.
Really?
And then this happened in Destiny 2. To further my fucking point,
So you believe it's because Sony bought them?
I don't know if it is. I'm not even saying it is. But I'm saying it has something to do with it.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, wait. So is Marathon going to be a Sony product?
They're not saying it is, but they're not saying it isn't.
Okay, that's weird. I don't know. Maybe it would be the worst thing. Maybe it won't. But
We'll find
I
out.
agree. If it apprehends the innovation of creating good games, like I'm really looking forward to the Wolverine game. But if that
Very
is stopped
much,
because of
yeah.
it, then I am completely against it. So
You know, I want I maybe I'm different than the average gamer, but I don't think I am. But I'd be willing to pay $100 for a great game too. Like the price point isn't what's terrifying to me; it's the quality of what's delivered. You know, if something
yeah,
is $20 worth of value, but I got to pay $100 for it because this one company owns everything, I'm not okay with that.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, and that's also a part of the thing. It's like I feel like we're already in that, so it almost like that fear. Like as much as I think about it in a monopoly standpoint, I mean, hell, we might as well be in Monopoly because it feels like so many popular games that I like to play with my friends just do the exact same shit.
Yeah, man, it's pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we need to support more indie gamers.
oh, agreed.
Yeah. If
Um,
only people would watch me playing those, I'd do it.
yeah. Yeah. I will say this: the best $20. No, I take that back. The best $7 I've spent in the recent past was that Escape the Backrooms game. That game is that game was great, and
I'll have to check it out.
nothing. The graphics weren't great, right? Like nothing was super groundbreaking. It was just so much fun for $7. That's what made it even better.
All right, so I'm on vacation this week. This is actually pre-recorded, and we'll be going live on Monday, I believe. Yeah, Monday. It'll be going live on Monday. Um, it will be followed by a upload on Tuesday to all where you can get all your podcasts. We are moving the schedule to going lives on Sunday following this upload. So if you want to catch us live, come down to Prime Tony 112 at twitch.tv. I'm going to be streaming a lot more diverse games coming up also, since literally no one is playing Destiny right now and nobody is watching it. So I'm thinking we're going to try some Star Trek Online because I'm a huge fucking nerd.
God.
Stop by my Twitch and my Kick. We'll hang out. Give me some suggestions. I'll take them. You can find me on Twitter and actually on all social media platforms at PrimeTony112. Jordan, your plugs?
You can also find me on Twitch at M0M0J. MomoJ, obviously, and Twitter, the MomoJ, as well as Kick, M0M0J. So go ahead and stop by. We're going to be doing some pre-records here in the next month or so, just because we're kind of both going on vacation at different points. So he already gave out the schedule. Feel free to stop by, give us some pointers on what you'd like to hear about.
All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for this week. We will talk to you soon. Peace.